What's up gamers, this is Risc, and today we're looking at the top 10 upcoming games in March. From indie developer Flying Wild Hog comes the third installment of Shadow Warrior. Shadow Warrior 3 is a mix of first-person shooter and melee combat with some free running sprinkled in. Taking place across a neo-feudal Japan, you'll have plenty of opportunities to get creative in how you attack your objectives with interactive environments and hazardous structures, wall run, double jump, grapple hook, and more to find your way to an excellent finishing move where you slice your enemies to pieces. I'm sure you've heard not to bring a knife to a gunfight? Well, how about a katana then? Shadow Warrior 3 releases on March 1st for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Next up, we have yet another sequel in Elex 2. Play as Jax, a man on a mission to unite the planet's factions against an outside threat while engaging in close and ranged combat. Explore a beautifully handcrafted and unique world using your jetpack to fly, and, best of all, your actions affect the world around you and have consequences. NPCs will remember what you've done and react differently based on your gameplay. They'll leave you or join your group depending on how you behave, and most interestingly, they are able to be killed, which will ultimately affect the story. Elex 2 releases on March 1st for both PlayStations and Xboxes, as well as PC. If you're a racing fan, then I'm sure you already know what game is coming next. Gran Turismo 7 is loaded with tons to do with access to over 420 cars on day 1 and 90 tracks with dynamic weather to race them on. GT7 is reintroducing the legendary GT simulation mode that allows you to buy, tune, race, and sell your way through an amazing campaign. More of a collector? Then build a dream garage with all your favorite toys. If you get tired of either of those, then join an international online community of drivers to share tips, designs, and more before you go head to head. Gran Turismo 7 releases on March 4th for PlayStation 4 and 5. Aztech Forgotten Gods is a rather unique game out of Mexico from indie developer Lienzo. Although you're tasked with fighting powerful ancient deities, your environment is actually a mix of cyberpunk meets Aztec and what the developers call a cyberstone Mesoamerican metropolis. Discover mysterious technology you can use to uncover ancient secrets, face off against massive bosses, and enjoy a ride full of twists and turns in an emotional journey to protect the city. Aztech Forgotten Gods releases March 10th for both PlayStations and Xboxes, Switch, as well as PC. Square Enix is back with another Final Fantasy project. This time it's Stranger of Paradise. In this rendition of Final Fantasy, you'll be able to tackle fast action gameplay and combat either by your lonesome or with up to 2 additional friends for some fun co-op play. You'll also be able to switch roles mid-battle. Don't think the skill set for daggers is working? Switch to your greatsword to equip different abilities to get the job done. Utilize iconic actions and abilities from the Final Fantasy series and blast your enemies away with a finishing blow called Soul Burst. Or blast that subscribe button away for more great content, cause why not? Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin releases March 18th for both PlayStations and Xboxes as well as PC. Coming out of the Bethesda studio, we have Ghostwire Tokyo. This game provides a unique take on Tokyo in that it's, well, haunted. Tokyo is overrun by deadly supernatural forces and occultists, causing the entire population to vanish. You're tasked with uncovering the truth of what's happened, all while being helped by your friendly ghost Casper. That's not right. All while being helped by a powerful spectral entity and gaining supernatural abilities. Discover hauntingly beautiful Tokyo landmarks when Ghostwire Tokyo releases on March 25th for PlayStation 5 and PC. Perhaps the biggest game coming out in March is a different game in the Borderlands series, none other than Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Wonderlands is going to feature a class system with 6 different archetypes to choose from, as well as the ability to multi-class for a truly hybrid playstyle. That way you'll be able to stand out from your 3 friends you're questing with. Gearbox, the developers of Wonderlands, have also implemented 2 versions of multiplayer. In cooperation mode, you get your own set of loot, but in co-opetition mode, the loot is up for grabs among the party. So which playstyle will you choose when Tiny Tina's Wonderlands drops on March 25th for both PlayStations, Xboxes, as well as PC? Although Crusader Kings 3 has been out for some time on PC, it's finally reaching a wider audience when it comes to console next month. Crusader Kings 3 is a turn-based grand strategy game similar to the Civilization series. Guide unique characters as you rewrite medieval history, live out numerous stories in one of the most detailed simulations ever developed, defend your faith or start your own religion, adapt to hundreds of different events, and choose where to start your story from thousands of different starting points. Crusader Kings 3 finally releases to next-gen consoles on March 29th. For those that enjoy fantasy, horror, and/or science fiction westerns, then Weird West is for you. Weird West has a Red Dead Redemption vibe to it with some, well, weird additions. Play as a gunslinger, werewolf, pigman, and more, all in beautiful comic book style graphics. And instead of the standard camera angles you'd expect to see, you're instead greeted with fantastic isometric gameplay. Weird West will be available on March 31st for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. If you made it this far, I just want to say thanks, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Now on to our last entry. From the creators of the award-winning game Far Lone Sails comes Far Changing Tides. In Changing Tides, you'll set sail and explore a world that has been flooded and filled with mystery. Search for salvage materials and fuel to keep your ship humming, think outside the box to get past obstacles, and discover forgotten relics of the past. Tired of what the surface life has to offer? Luckily, your ship doubles as a submarine to allow you to explore the depths and submerged enclaves. Far Changing Tides releases on March 1st for both PlayStations and Xboxes, Switch, as well as PC. And that's it, folks. Let me know in the comments which game you're most looking forward to. Thanks, and I'll catch you in the next video. With